Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for coming back and joining me today. We're back with the White Rose Detective Agency Chapter 2, the case of the Peculiar Butler. And we're on week 3 signature, and I'm just doing a flip through today and giving you a little bit of information for next week. So I haven't really done much. My husband changed my camera, so my desk was all over the place. So I've spent the last day just getting everything back to normal. I have been able to craft, but I can't find anything. So it's I've been a bit up in the air. So I've been doing other things while I've been not being able to craft on my desk. So I'm just going to do a flip through just to show you where we're at and if I've changed anything. And I've just added a few things that I'd like to share with you. So I'm quite happy with the way that we kept this one pretty slim, although when you look at it against the others, it's probably not any slimmer, to be fair. But I think I've got room for my other two if I keep them, if I bear in mind that we have to watch the bulk. And I'm loving it. I absolutely adore it. Now, all I did differently on the cover is I've just inked a little bit of the lace just to take the starkness off because it was a bit too bright. Because the kit itself is actually quite dark and grungy, I wanted to darken everything else. So I've darkened the edges of my pages and a bit of this newspaper print on the back and just gone around this lace. And I feel better about it now. It's not so, dark and in your face. So I've managed to get it in. I haven't done any of my covers yet, and I'm quite aware that I want to do something on the front covers, even if that just, is week 1, week 2, week 3, and so on. I just don't know. I quite like this cover though. This probably doesn't need much of anything else. Maybe I'd like to pop this a little bit, so I might reprint it. But I'll see. I don't know, and I'll probably go over and do something along those lines for each of the signatures. We've had a great response again this week, and I'm so thrilled with everybody's makes. The creativity out there is just astounding, and I'm so grateful that you're all joining in and enjoying the process of this storyline, because Rose and Mandy did an absolutely amazing job at creating this event, and it's just been phenomenal. So yeah, I've added a little bit of boo-boo tape there, and as I say, I probably will decorate these two covers at some point. So in the group as well, Louise. Hi Louise, thank you so much for your message and for watching the videos and for giving me the little bit of advice of making my pages pop a little bit with this red splatter and some fingerprints. I'd really appreciate it because it has really made the pages pop. So I've thoroughly enjoyed getting my fingers dirty this morning and getting all those little bits in. This was a pocket. Now we did a belly band. I didn't do this on camera, but we did a belly band very, very similar. So I wanted to put a pocket in on the front page here, and I've just added some extra journaling space with some fingerprint cards, observation cards, and some little bits of old vintage ephemera there. I did these in the last video, and I've added a couple of charms. So I've got a little key here, and in my second journal I've got a little camera there, which was the evidence one. So I just thought the camera would be very fitting on there. I picked a key mainly because it's correspondence, and I just thought it's under lock and key. That was my thought process. However warped that is. But we did these tabs in the last one, and I wasn't completely happy with the way that they came out. I didn't like the cream card. I didn't like the fact that they weren't all level, and I'd done them and couldn't really change it. There was nothing for me to be able to do. I couldn't take them off purely because they were already stuck down, and I just felt I was just going to be making a big mess of it all. So I went round it all with a black Sharpie to darken them up a little bit, because the kit's very dark anyway. It's quite fitting. I'm not thrilled with the way that they've come out, but I quite like the idea. You know, I quite like the fact that I can go to, you know, this one and flip and find out the story for Charles Whittaker. So I like the idea, but I just don't like the way that they've come out. So the red definitely makes these pages really pop, and all I've done with the little pockets is just add a little bit of correspondence in respects to whatever it is that they are, why they're suspects. So I've just put some correspondence in this pocket here for Lady Pennington, who Reginald found some family secrets in some paperwork, and that was the reason why she was suspected in the first place. So I just popped a bit of correspondence in that one. And then for Dr. Harold Stone, who Reginald believed was responsible for the untimely death of his wife. So I put a little coroner's tag in there with a little tag on there. And then there's more journaling space there. With Jack, I didn't put a pocket on this page because one, this picture was at the top, but this picture was a lot bigger than the cards that I had. And I wouldn't have put the pocket at the top anyway. So I've just popped a picture of the correspondence that or the case that he was believed to have been running away with, and the police report, and that just explains why he was a suspect. On this one here, I popped a pocket on here because the storyline stopped here on this particular page, and I just put a little bit of a cluster there with some red splatter, and I put some correspondence in this one as well because Charles Whittaker collected books and artifacts, and I believe that Reginald found evidence that some of those weren't quite as it seemed, and that was why he was a suspect. I've added some key charms and a camera charm onto some of the tabs as well. So I popped one on his because I believe his artifacts would be under lock and key. For Mona, the sweet shop owner, I didn't put a pocket on this particular one either because she's at the top of the page. But we have the tea shop or the sweet shop and the cakes, and that was why we believed that she was involved or a suspect, because Reginald enjoyed her cakes. So that was why. Then we come to the evidence board. Absolutely love this page. It's absolutely lovely. And I thoroughly enjoyed making this. I had to recreate it, obviously, because I'd already done a centre spread. But I changed it out for this. And I've popped a few bits and pieces into the pocket just to show you under there that you can actually use them as pockets as well. Popped a bit of red splatter on, and I really think it's made that page pop. I just love it. Absolutely love it. Mary did a fabulous job of designing that from the first chapter, and yeah, Mandy recreated it for this one, and I think it's wonderful. So if you haven't seen Mandy's video for that, do go across and see how that's all put together. More journaling pages there. We then did in the last video we did these envelope evidence pockets, and I just popped a bag on there with some evidence in and stamped up this. Now these are from Tracy Fox's detective kit, and I used both of the envelopes that were from there. Now Mandy's just bought a video out, I think it was yesterday, of how she's done hers, and she's used tags, and I have done them because I want to include all of Mandy's makes into each of the signatures for each week, just as a reference point really. So I'll show you those in just a jiff. So we've got another piece there which I've just stuck a little bit of ephemera on. Here's our second evidence bag, and that flips up. That's got a pocket underneath and some more writing space there. And because I put it over the page, I stuck some handcuffs in here, and I've used it as a top tuck for there. And more journaling spaces. This was our belly band that we made in one of the videos, and another one of the envelopes which I turned into an evidence envelope, and I loved the way this came out. Absolutely love it. I will definitely be making more of these. I just think they're absolutely wonderful, and they can be used for any theme. They don't need to be, you know, just kept for this. We have Watson on this page, and we have Tuppence on this page as a writing space, and then we did this in the last video as well, which is a flip out policy pocket. Maybe that's what we can call it, a flip out policy pocket. And you lift that up, you pull that down, you've got all this writing space here, and then we have some tags in the back. Now these are the two evidence tags that Mandy recreated in the video from yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, with the letter in for this one and fingerprints. Now I made these fingerprints on when my desk was upside down, I came across these plastic little pouch things, and what it is they go in the bottom of your phone, and this comes out your bit at the end between your phone and your case, so that you've got a hook that you can, you know, to put a strap on or whatever. And I didn't like them on mine, so I just left them on my desk. And of course, when I cleared my desk for my husband to do the camera the other day, I came across them and I thought, oh, they'd be great as little, you know, because they don't open, they're flat. And they're just laminated pieces, I think. I don't actually know what they are, but they've got an eyelet in. And so I attached my fingerprints to there with that. So I thoroughly enjoyed finding those. So, yeah, Mandy, I believe, has got another video coming out today. I don't know what time she posts her videos, so I'll have to watch out for that. So whatever it is that she makes in that video, I will be adding to this signature somewhere, if I can fit it in. And then obviously she'll have another one for Monday for our next signature. Now, week 4 is suspicious activity and sleuths at work. This is so interesting. This is where a lot of all of these witnesses come forward with what they noticed, what they saw, what they thought they saw, what they may have saw, what they were doing at the time, and all sorts. So there's so much more to this story, and I can't wait for next week. So I will be, Mandy will be back, as I say, with a video on Monday. I will be doing a video on Monday also. So over the weekend, I will be putting my signature together and getting my videos organised for what I'm going to be making. So I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my process and the flip through, and I hope you all have a great weekend crafting and getting ready for Monday. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. Thanks again. Bye for now. Take care.